2 days before a pivotal US-Russia summit in Alaska, European Union leaders have delivered a firm warning. Ukraine's borders must not be changed by force. In a joint statement signed by 26 of the 27 EU leaders, they declared that the people of Ukraine have the right to decide their own future, grounded in the principles of sovereignty and territorial integrity. The lone holdout was Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orbán, who has long maintained friendly ties with Moscow and has frequently sought to block EU support for Kyiv. The urgency behind this statement is tied directly to growing concerns in European capitals that the upcoming talks between US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin could lead to concessions over Ukraine's territory. Many fear Washington may accept some redrawing of borders in exchange for a ceasefire, potentially legitimizing Russia's military gains since 2014. For a continent that has seen centuries of violent border changes, the idea is deeply unsettling. Orbán's stance has once again highlighted a split within the EU. He dismissed the joint declaration as setting conditions for a meeting the EU itself was not invited to, and instead urged the bloc to organize its own talks with Moscow. His position contrasts sharply with that of countries like Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, where memories of Soviet occupation remain strong and the perceived threat from Russia is immediate. Since the invasion began in February 2022, Europe's security landscape has shifted dramatically. Sweden and Finland have joined NATO. Baltic states have reinstated conscription. Poland is spending billions to build a fortified barrier along its border with Russia. Across the region, leaders view the war not as a distant conflict, but as a direct test of Europe's resilience and unity. Meanwhile, President Trump has floated the idea of a territorial swap, allowing Russia to take full control of the Donbas region and keep Crimea, in return for ceding its partial hold over Kherson and Zaporizhzhia. NATO's Secretary-General Mark Rutte recently acknowledged the possibility of de facto Russian control over some areas, but stressed that it must never be legally recognized. The EU's position is unambiguous. Any peace settlement must be both just and lasting, and Ukraine must retain its right to defend itself. The bloc pledges to continue military and economic aid and reaffirms Ukraine's path toward EU membership. As EU leaders meet Trump on Wednesday, their goal will be to ensure Ukraine's sovereignty remains non-negotiable. By Friday, when Trump and Putin meet in Alaska, the outcome could shape not only the fate of Ukraine, but also the credibility of international law itself for Europe. The stakes could not be higher.